Hello, anybody watching. My name is Dylan, and I like to build houses in The Sims 4, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently on my channel. I feel like I said that last week because I did say that last week. I usually bring speed builds to my channel, but I feel like doing things a little differently these last couple of weeks. So what I'm going to be doing, instead of bringing you a speed build, is going through some of my older houses on my gallery, talking about them a little bit, and then comparing them to how I might rebuild that same house today, and kind of look at how I've grown and what has changed in my little Sims 4 journey, what has stayed the same, and kind of go from there. So let's just kind of jump right into it and get right into my gallery. So this here is my gallery. This is where you can find all of the houses that I have uploaded. You can see here some of them are the ones that I have uploaded to YouTube. Other houses I have not quite got to that point yet, but I will, I'm sure. So let's take a look at what my oldest house is and see what it looks like. Okay, so here is my oldest home. Looks like it was built, it was uploaded on September 4th, 2014. So that was, I think, 2 days after Sims 4 came out. This little blue house, I remember specifically, I built this house in Sims 3 and wanted to just kind of I wanted to upload a house to Sims 4, but I didn't have any inspiration, so I just uploaded basically the exact same version, Sims 4 version of a house that I built in Sims 3. Last name here, that's the name of the Sim who was supposed to live in this house, so that's why I named it that. So let's take a look at it. So here's the house in its entirety. She's cute. She's got some issues, but it's okay. This is a learning experience here. This is not supposed to be just like a roast of my old houses. This is supposed to be just me looking at some of my old things and seeing what I would do differently if I actually knew what I was doing back when I first built these houses. So if you look at this house and you like this house, or this is something that you would build today, this is not supposed to be a LOL, you're a terrible builder, or I was a terrible builder. This is just kind of looking at it. So with that said, let's take a look at it. Kind of going down here. So the first floor, it's not awful. I remember this. These lights right here, I used to use these lights all the time because when The Sims 4 came out, the lights were not very good. And we didn't have very many lights to choose from, at least just in the base game. So I would use these kind of grandma-ish sconces, or whatever they're called, all the time. And now that is a choice that I regret. I don't think it really matches the style of this house very much, and I don't use these lights anymore. I think they're awful. I don't like the weird glow that they put off, and so I definitely try to avoid these ones. Going to the second floor here, what is this light? I don't think I ever have used these lights since, because I don't like them. These might have been like one of the more expensive lights back in the day. So that might be why I put them in there, but I would not do this. I would not use that light again. The only thing I am noticing that I do differently now is, I feel like I didn't even try to make the house, pretty. I think that's something I do now all the time, is I go through houses and sometimes I do over-decorate them. I just know that I do that. It's something I've done in a long time. I think with Sims 4, though, I was very... it was hard for me to decorate just because everything was so new. Wow, I didn't even put a toilet paper holder, so you can't wipe your butt apparently in this house. Sorry. I do remember that roofs in The Sims 4 when the game first launched were really weird and kind of hard to figure out, because everything had to be mirrored. Nowadays you can hit shift and only do one side if you want to do the eaves. Before, you could only do it like this, and I think there was only a couple options. There definitely wasn't all of this. Not that I do that now anyway, but there was only 2 or 3 different lengths that you could pull them out, and they always had to go together. And so I think that's what's happening here with this roof. What is this? With this roof? I don't know why I did it that way. Let me see. See, I could have done that, couldn't I? Oh! Oh, I see. Okay, so that must have been why I didn't do it that way. Okay, you know what? I might make a separate video of me kind of going through this house and editing it to my 2020 standards, because I feel like there's a lot that I can do with this house nowadays that I just wasn't really that aware of when the game first launched. So I think I might end up doing that. But overall, the interior is cute. I mean, it definitely needs some work. There's a lot of mismatching furniture, but I can kind of see where I was going, what I was going for. Yeah, I'm gonna make a different video on this one because it's a little bit of a disappointment. So let's just go to the next one. So the next house that I want to take a look at is one of my most downloaded houses on my gallery. It's this Family Guy house from 2016. Taking a look at it here, I can already tell that I would do things differently today. And I get frustrated now because in my notifications, this house gets a lot of downloads every single day. It's just under 5,000 now, which is great, but it's not that great actually. And so I do get a little bit frustrated when I see people still downloading it and kind of once in a while still commenting on it, because it's just not a very good representation of what I do nowadays. Even just doing a base game house, I definitely know that I would do better with my current skills. But let's take a look at it. Let's download it and discuss a little bit more. So here we go. Here is my first version of the Family Guy house. Now, on my YouTube channel, this was actually the first house that I built and uploaded to my channel, was a different version of this Family Guy house from 2020. This house here was built in 2016. I remember where I was. I was in Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, and I was really excited to build this house. I think I might have only had the base game when I first built this house at the time. Either that or I might have had Get Together, but I just didn't feel like using any of the stuff from that pack. There are definitely some things that I would do differently. For one, I don't like this white roof trim. I mean, it looks fine, I guess, but it doesn't quite match the rest of the house. And in fact, I remember building this house because this was at a time where I think there was a glitch in Sims 4, and it was making roof trim, especially the white roof trim, like glow, like heavily glow. And it was quite annoying, and a lot of people were posting in the Sims forums, you know, why is my roof trim glowing? It looks like it's been catapulted to Mars. It's so bright, you know, what is going on? So that was definitely a thing, and when I did this house, and so I was trying to maybe do something a little bit differently to maybe distract from the glowing trim in this house, and so I tried to do a really nice yard, and I think I had put it on a lot where the sun was shining directly on it though, so it just made the problem worse. So that was fun. But let's take a look on the inside. I know it's got, I think, just 1 bathroom and 4 bedrooms. Oh geez. Oh geez. Okay, so this green carpet is not correct as far as the TV show goes, Family Guy. This is not the right tile. I don't know why I didn't use the blue tile, because I know the blue tile that matches this kitchen was actually, it was definitely there. I know that for sure. These rooms are too small. This room here should not exist. I think I just put that in there because I didn't know what to do with the space, and you obviously can't really build a functional garage. Whereas nowadays in 2019, 2020, when I'm doing a house that has a garage, I will usually just leave the space kind of open to the air in the back. I'll either put like a door or you know, make it so there's just open to the air, I guess. So this should not be here. Like I said, this carpet is not correct. It's supposed to be more blue. Again with those lights, I hate those lights. On the second floor here, oh geez, the bedrooms aren't even in the right spot. I don't know why I did that. This is the master bedroom. This master bedroom is supposed to be right here. I guess these bedrooms are fine. The only thing I really do like about this house is the bathroom right here is basically spot on. It might be a little bit too small, but the colors work. And when I built this house in 2020, I basically just used this exact bathroom again. So why don't I actually take a couple of minutes and edit the exterior to be a little bit more correct, to really show off what I can do in 2020, and also make the exterior look a little bit more like the house is supposed to anyway. So give me a couple minutes and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so if I had built this house with my 2020 mindset back in 2016, it would probably look something similar to this. In the old house, the roof was clipping through everywhere, and it just did not look cute. And so what I did in this 2020 version of the same house is I did each roof piece individually. Learning how to roof in this game is definitely something I think everybody should learn to do if they can, and if they care. I do see a lot of times people are saying like, oh, I can't roof and I like to build, and I'm like, eesh. It kind of makes me sad a little bit, because the second you learn like really how to roof in this game, things become so much easier and your builds look so much better. I mean, really, roofing can make or break your house. So I would say that if you can learn how to properly roof, then do so. Either that or have somebody else do it for you, and your houses are just going to look so much better if you can actually do it. I do know back in 2016 you were not able to size things down like I did here with these shutters. I call them shutters, they're actually not, they're blinds. But I use them as shutters all the time. But I needed to do it because I love doing it, I love sizing things down. But you definitely could size things up back in the day. But this is what I would make it look like now. So I mean, yeah, my big takeaway from this house is really just learn how to roof if you can. Try to, at least. Also, if I could learn something from this house, it would be to do a better floor plan, because this looks stupid. Let's move on to another house. As I've said on this channel before, 4353 Wisteria Lane is my dream house. If I had enough money and enough time and enough energy to do so, I would probably build this house in real life and live in it and live a happy life. But that doesn't always mean that it translates well into Sims 4, and especially looking at the very first version I made of this house back in 2015, oi, this is a problem child. So let's just jump right into it and see what it looks like. Oh, honey. Okay, there are some problems. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh. What did I... Okay, I can't look, or else I'm just gonna look at it all day. Okay, so this was my very first attempt to build 4353 Wisteria Lane back in 2015. The windows here aren't even... I don't even think they're facing the same way. Okay, let's just take a look on the inside and see if it looks any better. Okay, no it doesn't. Congratulations, Dylan. You made some mistakes. I give myself props for trying to do something a little bit differently with this roof. I can tell this was probably the first time I ever really learned or figured out that you could make the roof a little bit more curvy. So that's probably what I'm doing here, but that doesn't mean that it turned out super well. This is not supposed to be like a roast yourself challenge, but Jesus, this does not look good. If you think this house looks good though, this is not supposed to be like a, you know, pick on you and pick on the things that you like, but because I built this house and I am its birth mother, I am allowed to judge it, okay? Parents are allowed to judge their children. I know my parents do me, so, okay. This floor I would never use. I don't know why I decided to use this flooring. I think it looks silly, and I don't understand why this color just is not good. It doesn't really match, again, with the goddamn sconces. I don't know why I always use those ones. You could do this in Sims 3 all the time, where you could put the flower beds on top of fences to make it look like it's kind of like a trellis, but it doesn't quite have the same effect in Sims 3. Excuse me, in Sims 4. But I tried. I need to change this flooring right now. Let's use a base game flooring and fix it, because this is just not a flooring that I would use anymore. I think I use this one all the time. I love this flooring. I think it looks very cute. I think even just fixing that makes it look so much better. Oh, I can definitely appreciate that I used these display shelves though, because the house is actually like that in the show. I can tell that I had at least some attention to detail, but the fireplace doesn't even match. These windows don't match. This is like a total McMansion, isn't it? I don't use these windows ever, usually because they're too small. Second floor here, same problem again. I use that dang floor that I would never use. Oh my gosh, this you know what, let's just get rid of this one. I already know that I actually did go through this this house late last year, and I edited it to my standards at the time. So let me grab that one and show you that one, because it looks a lot better. Back in December 2019, I edited this house to my standards of, the year. So this was about 4.5, almost 5 years after I had uploaded the first version of this house. I downloaded it again and fixed it and made it look a little bit prettier. So let's take a look at what I did. Okay, so this is what I did to the house back in 2019. It's the exact same house, just edited a little bit differently. It looks a lot better, I think, and it is base game only, and you can find it on my gallery. But one thing I definitely learned from building this house back in the day was to maybe not necessarily go so overzealous on the roof. If you don't really know what you're doing with the roof, that's okay. Just make something that looks nice, and don't try something new, but when you know something looks a little silly, edit it. You edit. That's definitely something I could have done. And like I said, this is the exact same house, just with a little extra time and care into it. And it looks so much better to me. And I cleaned out the house. I made it, look a little bit nicer and more livable, and I changed the lights, although I think these lights came late in a later update, so I couldn't have had these in 2015. What I learned from this house, I would say, is, edit, edit your work, take a little bit more time, take a breather. I know that I didn't like this house when I first originally uploaded it with that crazy roof back in the day, but I uploaded it anyway and just thought, it looks fine, and I didn't think it looked fine. If you thought it looked fine, then that's definitely okay. You can think it looks fine, but I didn't think it did. Let's jump into one last house and see what it looks like and see what I might have learned from that house too. So this was supposed to be my big project in Sims 4 when the game first came out. This was uploaded on September 21st, 2014, so again, just a couple of days after Sims 4 came out. And this was me trying to make this very beautiful and large, manor-type house. I had originally built this house in The Sims 3, and I was trying to transfer it over to Sims 4 using the tools that we had in Sims 4. And I can already tell there are some issues with it, but let's jump into it and take a look at what I did. This house was originally supposed to be based on one of the mansions that is in Grand Theft Auto 5, if I remember correctly, and oh boy, does this not look like what it was based off of. Okay, let's take a look on the inside and see what I did. I haven't looked at this house in many years, and so I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, so I can kind of see what I was going for back in the day. I think it was because I tend to build houses that are very much closed off. Everything has its own separate room, and you have to go through a lot of doorways to get to certain rooms. That's how I build in Sims 3 and Sims 4. And that's how I like houses to be in real life. I'm not a huge fan of like these open concept houses and open floor plans. I mean, I get them, and I guess I do like them a little bit, but I tend to prefer something a little bit more traditional. But with this house, I was trying to do something different. And so I was trying to make kind of like an open concept floor plan, but I can already tell that I didn't quite hit the mark. It looks very empty, and there's not even a fireplace here. You've got this huge open living room and no fireplace. And again, with the lights, oh my god, okay, I don't like myself. I can definitely tell what I tried to do with the living room is I tried to have just green furniture. That is something I still do. I still try to make furniture sets match with the same color, or same like furniture style. That's definitely something I still do today. But I don't quite think that it really works because there's nothing really on the wall that, makes this room work. There's no focal point of this room, and it's very empty. In fact, I do remember building this house and thinking that this house was overly empty, but also when I finished it, it took me such a long time to do at the time that I was just like, all right, screw it, it's done, house is done, let's move on. So that's kind of why this house looks so weird, I think. I still like the wall color actually here. I don't think I use this wall color that often, but I think it looks nice. The kitchen here, I remember thinking that this was like my best kitchen that I had ever done, and I guess at the time it was the best kitchen that I had ever done, but it's not anymore, I don't think. I feel like I used this a lot. I used this kind of cheap fridge and then the more expensive stove. I've seen that, I think, almost in all the houses that I've looked at so far. It just is a little strange. And these lights seem a little bit low. I think this was the first time that I used the second height for walls. So let's go to the second floor. Again, with the bedrooms, only one bedroom is furnished. I don't know why I did that, but you can see kind of I had tried to do an open concept bedroom, but it didn't quite work. And there's a lot of these weird spots where there's nothing in them. I still do this a lot actually in Sims 4, but I fill them in with black flooring and black wallpaper so it's not so noticeable. Oh, I can see here, this is supposed to be like a walk-in closet. I still do that in Sims all the time. That's kind of funny. This bathroom is pitiful. I don't know who designed her. She is not quite working for me, honey. She does not work hard for the money. And then over here, I think I did the same, yeah, that's like the same bathroom, but I was a little bit more proud of this bathroom, I think, when I first did it. Nice yard here. This looks great, Dylan. Look what you did. Jesus. What the? What? Why does this not connect? Why did I do it this way? Why? Who hurt you? Okay, you know what? Let's make this house look a little bit better and see what I can do, if anything, for this house. All right, let's jump right into that. Okay, so here is the finished house. As you can tell, I made it look much better. There's this beautiful open concept kitchen over here connected to this half bathroom over here. And then the living room is on the opposite side of the house over here. And it just looks so much better this way. There's no distractions. There's no big, weird, open rooms that don't have enough furniture in them, and those weird sconces are gone. I really enjoy this house. I think it turned out great. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this little tour of some of my houses, and maybe you learned something new, maybe you didn't, I don't know. I just felt like going through some of my old stuff and kind of laughing at myself, because what I used to think looked so great that I built maybe doesn't look so great after all, and that's okay. We all make mistakes. So, I mean, I don't know. What can I say? So, if you enjoyed this video, do feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love it if you would subscribe, but I will still love you even if you don't. Feel free to leave a comment down below saying what you would like to see next from me, be it a speed build or anything else. And with that, I will see you guys in another video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.